Hello, I'm so thankful that you're joining me today on Anzac Day. In Australia, today is a very, very solemn day when people attend memorial services and also go on marches. But because of the coronavirus, we can't do that this year. However, I want to take the opportunity to share with you a couple of thoughts about Anzac Day. Let's remember that this is one of the most important occasions on the Australian calendar. This anniversary marks the first major military action that Australians were involved in during the First World War. This was in Gallipoli. However, Gallipoli was not the only battle Australians were involved in. Out of great interest, Australia was involved in liberating Beersheba. And that is important because that was the first time that the Holy Land and Jerusalem were liberated. So Australia plays a very important part in biblical history. On Anzac Day, we remember the sacrifice of those who served and died in many, many conflicts, both the First World War, the Second World War, and other conflicts. We also celebrate peacekeeping operations and the contributions that were made by so many and so much suffering in those circumstances. During the Second World War, my father enlisted to join the Air Force. He had technical expertise. He was a technician, but after completing his basic training, he really wanted to become a pilot. That didn't come to pass. And in the years that followed, he served repairing aircraft in the Wagga Wagga area, which is west of Canberra. We read from his records that he worked very, very long hours. The nights were very, very cold, and as a result of that, he developed a very, very bad lung condition which landed him in hospital. The problem was ongoing, but then there was an accident. He fell off a fire truck and his lung condition worsened very, very seriously. In those days, you just didn't do one job. You did more than that. They worked on the aircraft returning from the Pacific for repair. They were building aircraft, but also some of the aircraft came in for crash landing. On one occasion, they were on a fire brigade going out to the airstrip, and he fell off the back of the truck and ended up in hospital very seriously. My father died when I was 8 years old, and he never ever served overseas. I have two great uncles who served during World War I in Belgium. One was killed in action, the other one was wounded and because of the loss of blood returned back to Australia insane, living until the time I was a young boy. One of those uncles had served in Gallipoli and then went on to serve in France. The other one only served in Belgium. All of my uncles served during the Second World War, except the younger, who served during the Malaysian campaign. They never used to talk about their experiences because many of them were very, very horrific experiences. Sister Downs had uncles who served during the Second World War. One of them was captured and executed. Some of the other ones ended up in prisoner of war camps, and they could never ever talk of their experiences without breaking down. Today we honour the service of these men and women during these past wars. It seems to be rather tricky for Christians to celebrate patriotic days. However, we have reason to be thankful for God, for the country that we live in, and the freedoms that we experience. We're blessed by our freedom. Just imagine living the rest of our lives facing the restrictions that we are facing right now under the coronavirus. We must always remember that freedoms that we enjoy always come at a cost, and the generations before us have paid the price. In no way do we glorify war, but on this day we pause to remember those who have served our country. It will be good for us to remember that some people served and gave the ultimate sacrifice with their lives. But as we remember, let us remember that we also fight a fight, the good fight. We put on the armour of God and serve Jesus. Once again, nothing gained unless there's a battle. We need to learn to love our country, and we need to learn to celebrate the wonderful things and the freedoms that we have. As Christians, we are dual citizens, citizens of both heaven and of this earth. But I want to say that as much as we honour God and serve God, He also wants us to rejoice in the things that He's given us on this earth, and one of the most precious things that He has given us is our freedom, and men and women died for that freedom. So, be thankful to God today. Be thankful for the country that you live in. Be thankful for the freedoms that we enjoy. I pray that you will have a very, very great day and take time to thank Jesus for dying for our eternal freedom. God bless you.